Ian,
Dave, we've started.
are you okay? Oh my God.
I'm fine. How are you?
You're okay. You have your power on. Your lights are on.
Yes.
Ian,
Yes.
I don't know if you know this or not, but it's effing cold out.
It's pretty cold. It's not, Texas cold.
Right. Exactly. I was thinking about our folks in Texas. I hope everyone's doing okay, for the love of God. Right. You're not conditioned to have this kind of weather, and our hearts and maybe the little hand warmer packet things that we have go out to you.
I'm also trying to send people in Texas, all my friends in Texas, extra sipping for their tires.
Okay,
I saw a video on Twitter yesterday of someone backing out of their driveway in their big pickup truck, and and it was on. They were in like a subdivision, and it was on. There was like a slight hill, and so they back out perpendicular to the hill, and they put the truck in drive. But before the truck can even move forward, it just starts sliding totally sideways all the way down the hill.
Yeah,
It's slow motion.
I saw the same video, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tires, people.
Right? Yeah, and also, I mean, like, when you're on ice, for the love of God, I mean, right? There's only so much you can do, right?
Yeah. If you don't have the tires for it, then there is nothing you can do.
Right?
Like, it's game over.
Yeah, and studs will eventually slip as well, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, you have traction until you don't. Right?
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
So, Ian, people tune into Apex Adjacent to get their weather updates, right? This is the primary weather source, right?
It's timely, especially since we're recording this on Monday.
And
with a lightning fast turnaround, this will be released Thursday night.
Exactly, right? So I made an FMK cars for you based on cold weather.
Okay.
All right. Ian, let me pull up the browser thingy. Okay. Ian, this one's called Jesus, It's Cold. Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you as my ears have just frozen to the inside of my hat. Cars that are great for winter driving and not unbearable in warmer weather. Okay. I feel like you own a car that falls into this category, right?
Yes. I would say I even own 2 cars that fall into this category.
You are correct. Both your sport track and your R32, fantastic in cold weather.
It is an all track.
All track.
Because all tracks matter.
Oh boy. Oh yeah. I edit the show. You watch yourself, buddy.
I couldn't help it.
When you said that, I looked to see if we were recording, and in the back of my mind, I was kind of hoping that I forgot to start. Okay. All right. So you get the premise, right? As an owner of 2 of these vehicle types, right? You want to survive in the winter, but you don't want to have a sucky commute other times, right?
Correct. Yes.
So you're going to get a vehicle and some specifications. All right.
Okay. All right.
We're going to kind of go. Yeah, here we go. So what we're going to do is first, I'm going to give you a BMW. Oh, I'm not sharing my browser window with you.
I was just about to type ICANN has browser.
From when we were talking Tech Talk earlier today.
I know, Tech Talks.
Tech Talk. Okay.
It was very exciting.
There you
IT
go.
nerd talk.
Right. Let me pin you here to bring you back. There's that face. Okay. There you go, buddy. Perfect.
The worst. Awful. All right.
I'm going to give you BMW 2 Series. Okay. I'm going to give you, do you know what they have the audacity to call their sedan?
Is it the Grand Coupe?
Yes.
Yes.
Why do we have to call a sedan the Grand Coupe?
It's obvious, Dave, because it's a 2 Series, which implies 2 doors, but because it's an even number. But if you put Grand Coupe at the end of it, even though it's an even number, if it's Grand Coupe, then it's 4 doors and not just 2 doors. Now, but if it was an odd number, they wouldn't have to put Grand Coupe on there because that would just imply 4 doors automatically.
Right.
Simple.
What about the X7? Anyway, right before the sides of our heads dent in with the stupidity of BMW's naming scheme.
I mean, at least it's not Cadillacs.
True. Yeah.
Like, I could, gun to my head, I'm not sure I could name 3 models of Cadillac accurately right now. Like,
Okay. Yeah, I want to say ATS, but I have a feeling that's wrong.
I don't know. That doesn't exist anymore.
Okay, see? There you go. Yeah.
It's like the CT5, the CT6, then the XT5 and 6, maybe. I don't know. In this, Ian, I'm giving you a 2 series, right? In my notes, it says fucking sedan, right? Grand Coupe. So the Grand Coupe has all-wheel drive as standard. Okay? Mm-hmm.
All right? And you can have no other options. All right?
Okay.
So you don't get the chrome ring around the grille, which BMW wants like $400 for.
I don't get the M Sport.
You don't get the M Sport. You don't get cruise control or adaptive cruise control. Sorry. Right?
All right.
Stuff like that, right? Just base BMW. Okay? All right. But you do get all-wheel drive. All right?
Okay.
Then next, I'm going to give you an Audi A3. All right? We'll give you the dual clutch little guy. Okay? Right? You know, the A3. Right?
Yeah.
Not the hatchback. We'll just give you the sedan, which they call a sedan. Right?
Lame.
Boo.
I mean, it's essentially the A3 is the same car that I have now.
Right. Yeah.
It's
the
Golf. Same as the All-Track. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I'm going to give you a little bit more than the base model. So you get the dual clutch gearbox, right? Which I think is standard. But I'm also giving you, Ian, sport seats and the rear cross traffic assist thing. Okay. All right. Okay.
So that's for when my that's for when my neck is injured and I can't.
Yes, it is. It is. It's not like you have an LS 460 like me where that would actually be valuable because your car is 79 feet long. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Okay. Step 1 to owning an LS. Just always go for the pull-through parking spot, right? Okay. Then lastly, Ian, I'm going to give you what's near and dear to my heart. It's a Mazda 3, the all-wheel drive sedan.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I can't have the hatchback?
See, you pick the hatchback instantly, but this is a sedan game, right? Okay. All right. But this one, Ian, I'm giving you the Turbo Premium Plus. Okay. The only downside is, since it has all-wheel drive, you have to have the automatic transmission. You can't spec all-wheel drive and manual on those cars, right?
Yeah.
But I pulled out all the stops on options. I configured one, and I racked up a cost of about $36,000 for a Mazda 3. Okay?
Nice.
All right.
Which is still cheaper than the other 2, right?
It is, but just a skosh. I think the BMW 2 Series like super base is about 38, and the A3 I think is around 34 or something like that. So these are all very comparable price wise. Yeah. So there you go. That's what you get. So you get an all-wheel drive car that's not horrible to live with. And you kind of have 3 different tiers here.
Right. Sort of sub $40,000.
Yep. Option to stay in that area, because you could change that 2 Series into a $70,000 car.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. I think I would marry the Mazda.
Okay.
I love the way it looks.
Yeah.
Those cars are always great to drive.
Yeah.
And I've not driven one of these with all-wheel drive.
We did at Rocky Mountain driving the last one that we did in person in 2019.
Was that an all-wheel drive one?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So you have.
Obviously, it made a really great impression.
Right?
No, I couldn't remember if that was a front-wheel drive one or not. But yes, I do like the way that these drive.
Yeah.
I love the way they look. And I think their interiors are like the exact, like, we've talked about this before about how they're like kind of where Volkswagen was in the market sort of 10 years ago. They just do like kind of simple and functional really well.
Right? Like really good surfaces to touch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. So I'm going to marry that because I think it's the best car of the three, honestly. And
okay.
I'm going to crush the Audi. Just because I feel like it would just be way more expensive and less of a good ownership experience than what I already have.
True.
And
you have the sport seats in your Golf, in your All-Track, right? Yeah.
I have the SEL seats.
There we go.
The SEL seats, which are sportier than the SE seats or whatever. I don't know. And then I'll drive the BMW for a day and just be on my Bluetooth headset the entire time.
Okay.
Sell.
Yeah. Just crush and stonk options.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think that you made a good choice. I think I would do exactly the same. I think I would definitely marry that Mazda 3. I really like that car. Yeah. And I'm seeing more of the all-wheel drive hatchbacks kicking around Colorado,
Yeah, I saw 2 of them yesterday.
Nice.
Or Friday or whatever. I don't know what day it is right now. Whatever. A couple days ago. I saw 2 of them in one day.
Okay. Yeah, so we were talking before the show about your car, like, up in the mountains. You went up to the mountains. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we went up to Golden Gate Canyon.
Oh yeah.
We got a cabin up there. So it's a state park for anyone not in Colorado. So it's a state park. It's about 45 minutes from Denver. It's up like almost like 9,000-ish feet was the campground we were at. And they have like these little like cabins that are just like literally like one room, no bathroom cabins.
Yeah.
Up in the mountains. It was great. And the car did great. It was kind of the first time we had it on mountain roads with snow. We still have like the all season tires that it came with.
Sure.
A few thousand miles on it or whatever. And it did awesome. Like I tried to like, I'm getting more and more comfortable with it as far as like, knowing how the stability control is going to kick in and being able to work with it a little bit instead of trying to fight it.
Right.
And then, being able to turn it off and get it to move around a little bit.
Yeah.
My favorite thing to do now is to do handbrake turns in the snow with my 6-year-old in the back who then yells at me for being unsafe and doing things that are illegal because I made the mistake of telling him that it was technically against the rules to do that on the road.
Okay.
And I am paying the price for that.
Okay. I was going to say, how did your little rule follower respond to that? Okay.
Yeah, not well. He yelled at me for about 10 miles after that.
Oh man. Oh, buddy. You have a fun crusher for your hooning.
Oh, I do. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
What I'm wondering is how this is going to play out in therapy copays for your son later down the road, right? Because like that's going to turn into you not taking him on like a snowy errand, right? And like favoring the other child that's just like all giggles and right? Yeah. So how is that going to pan out, right?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you giving me something else to think about.
It's not like you don't have enough on your plate right now. Now you got to worry about how this kid's going to whine to a therapist in 30 years.
Right. Yeah.
And then he pulled the handbrake.
He's gonna have to explain to his therapist what a handbrake was.
True, right? Yeah.
But anyway,
our Cybertrucks don't even have them anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
But the other thing about what we did was that we, because we were essentially camping,
right?
Because we were just in this cabin. You had to bring like sheets and everything. There's like bunk beds or whatever.
Okay.
And you have to bring your sheets, and you have to like cook on the fire or on the charcoal grill or whatever.
Yeah.
So it was essentially like a camping trip, but with winter clothes. And we had, 4 of us and all of our camping gear. And that's not that big of a car.
Right. Right.
So we had the roof box like jam packed full.
Sure.
But we did it. So it was a good like proof of concept test of can we go camping with this car? Because what we had been doing is like renting a Yukon.
Right.
For camping trips. So I think we're good to go.
Yeah, no, I like that because it's like if the car can handle the winter camping conditions and all the stuff that comes with winter, like stuff, right, in like a 1-room cabin, then you can make it during a summer, 2-3 day trip, no problem, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is a good like bar to set with the car, right? Yeah. Yeah. When you are in a situation like this, right? How much do you think about the Turbo X?
A lot. I mean, because I think about, especially like when I'm loading that back hatch, because the back of the Turbo X was enormous.
It was huge, yeah.
And it was really good for loading stuff in because it was very like squared off on the sides.
Right.
And the seat back was pretty straight up and down.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it made like maximizing the space really pretty easy. The All-Track is definitely a little bit smaller in that respect. Like we have a giant cooler that fits, but like takes up so much space that you kind of want to downsize on the cooler, but then, you don't have as much food or,
right.
or whatever. But then also it's just like how nice it is to just walk outside, load my own car and not have to go rent a car.
Right.
Go do all that stuff.
Yeah. I was going to say you're looking back on the Turbo X fondly as far as loading. Sure. You can load it up, but could you drive it anywhere?
No. I mean, briefly, then you would have to stop and let it cool off.
Oh no, we can pack it all day.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm just wondering like how much you reflect on the Turbo X, like, and it's interesting that in the first thing that came to your mind was a positive thing about it. Not like, oh, well, we could never do X with the Turbo X. Right.
Right. Yeah. Right. I think I'm far enough away from it now that like I can think about it, and I think I could think about its advantages.
Okay.
Without getting angry.
Yeah. Right. It's not really coming through on the webcam, but that vein in your head, just popping. Your eye twitch every time I say Turbo X, right?
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of,
and I've been really liking. I mean, you were here today. You probably noticed that the roof box is still on the car.
Yeah.
I do like being able to take that on and off. I haven't taken it off because it's all like hand screws.
Yeah.
And doing that stuff with cold hands just sucks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right.
So I've just been lazy and haven't taken it off.
No, I don't blame you. You need like some kind of attachment for your, drill or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Or I just need it to be like a warm day and then I'll take it off.
Sure.
Take it off.
Yeah. No. Yeah. And you'll probably use it more soon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to like throw sleds in and stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Cause then, I've never had a roof box before. It's really fantastic.
They're fantastic. Like the whole roof rack system. Brilliant. Right.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Nice, man. Well, that's good. I'm glad you got the All-Track up in its element, Yeah. You've road tripped with it during the summer. You're wintering with it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's you're putting the tool to use, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Nice, buddy. Nice. That's good. That's really good to hear. I have a my eyes for you, but it's not so much a my eyes where I have a picture. I just have a reaction to tell you about. So this really interesting dynamic has come to the surface while my wife and I are driving around. Okay? And we will be in traffic and I will just like Google the MSRP of a car that is next to us and hand her my phone and then listen to her reaction. Okay?
Okay.
So today we were coming back from getting a little bit of takeout and having a car picnic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was in traffic next to us, Ian, there was one of these. It was a Shelby Raptor, right? The Shelby Baja Raptor. Okay.
Okay.
Right next to us in traffic, right? Do you know what the MSRP of that truck is?
I'm going to say $90,000.
$117,000, Ian.
What?
So I handed my wife my phone with that pulled up, and she just goes, "Oh!" Like, just
As if I should roll down our window and just be like, "Fuck you."
I mean, essentially, right? Yeah. So this has happened a few times, like while we're in traffic, and there's an expensive or car like that, or like with the Smash Wagon, that Subaru that I saw, right? That license plate, once I explained the plate or something like that, or the Taken picture, the person with the Taken sticker on their window. Remember that?
Right. Yes.
The non-Liam Neeson referencing Taken sticker,
yes.
Right? Yeah. So it's not necessarily my eyes, but I did see a Shelby Raptor. I listened to my wife's reaction, which was completely appropriate for such an insane truck, right?
I don't think I've ever seen one of those in person.
Yeah, there's one around here that I've seen a few times. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, right? I mean, it doesn't look great. Like, it doesn't look like 120 grand. Like, I'm sure it's fast. I'm sure it's super capable. I'm sure you could Baja it. But dude, I saw it driving down fucking Wadsworth, man. Like,
I know. It's just so much money for a toy, like there's no like,
yeah.
I mean, you're not like towing with it really.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like having a crazy expensive remote control car. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember when I was like maybe like 25 or 6, somewhere around there. And I like a friend of mine was like talking about remote control cars, and like we were looking at them online. And then I was like, oh wait, I could actually like get a car part with like this remote control money, right? Mm-hmm. Not to knock on the on the hobby, right? Remote control cars are awesome. It was just like where I wanted to spend my money, right?
Right.
And like the Raptor, the Shelby Raptor seems like the crazy extension of something like that. Like, you're right. The word toy absolutely fits it, right?
Yeah, it's a weird, these like, I get spending a lot of money on like, I get like $100,000 Jeep, right?
Yeah.
Because, like for like a rock crawler type type thing. Cause you're like, oh, I need one vehicle that, I can drive on the road, even if it's compromised. Right. I can do this like, rock crawling thing. But like the fast overland trucks, I don't get as much because they are still compromised on the road. And like the consequences of braking.
Yeah.
At 70 miles an hour in the desert with nobody around seem like way bigger
than, right
being on our popular rock crawling trail, say.
Right or I'd say like a track day, right
because I also get $150,000 GT3s or whatever,
right.
That I can kind of wrap my head around that as well. But with this, it just seems like you could have a truck to pull a dune buggy, or those like
crazy... the Polaris, yeah, right.
And one of those for less money than this, right?
Right, yeah, and you'd have a way to drive yourself home if something broke.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's a multi-layered response, when you see something like that. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, but
okay.
I just want to make a YouTube series with my wife reacting to these cars in real time, because it'd just be like 15-second episodes, and there'd be like 4,000 of them, but they'd all be hilarious,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but besides that, I've seen other things, Ian, and I've seen things that I'm now going to present to you in a license plate game.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let me share another window with you here on the
We need a jingle for this. License plate game. I've been watching a lot of Letterman clips, so I've got like Paul Schaefer singing license plate game in my head now.
Nice. Yeah. I like that you want to kick up the production. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to get a drum machine and pipe it into your audio. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So can you see that, Ian?
I can see that.
Okay. All right. So you have a Audi
license plate game.
There you go. See? Don't overthink it. That's all you need. It's perfect, buddy. It's perfect. Good job, co-producer. Okay. So these are all black SUVs, Ian. Look at that.
They really are.
Well, I mean, this is the world we live in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we have an Audi Q5 up at the top, black. We've got a Lincoln, I think that's the Aviator, right?
Okay.
In the middle. Then we have an Audi.
Badged, huh?
Yes. Yeah. You know what? I didn't notice that. You're right. Yeah. And then an Audi Q7 at the bottom, all black SUVs. Then we have 3 vanity plates. Okay. Do you want to read them? Or are you busy decoding?
This is very interesting. Okay, so one of them says courtside, I believe, CRTSIDE.
That's how I read it as well. Not that they were like big cathode ray tube enthusiasts.
That's what I was going to say.
Dude, you can sell a CRT TV like those Sony Trinitons, whatever they are, on eBay for a fair amount now. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, retro gaming. Like that's the audience. Gotcha. Yep. So sense. Anyway, yeah.
60 man 60.
Uh-huh.
Is there another meaning for that, do you think?
I do, and I think that the license plate font lends itself well to this. And I should have tried to find a font in Photoshop when I was making this graphic for you that would
Go
reflect.
Man Go?
Yep, there you go. It kind of looks like Go Man Go.
Okay. And then the last one, HKY mask.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Hockey mask.
Boom. You got it, buddy. You got it.
Oh.
Okay, so these are almost kind of like all roughly sports themed. Maybe the Go Man Go. I don't know. But yeah. Couple sportsos.
Okay, so here's what I'm fixating on right now.
Okay, yeah.
I'm fixating on 2 things. Oh man. Okay. I was just going to go through my observations.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Talk through this.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Let's talk it out, buddy.
So the Q5 at the top, the Audi Q5, it has a trailer hitch.
Oh, okay. I didn't even notice that. Good eye.
Like a legit trailer hitch with a ball attachment on it.
Okay.
So it's not like just it's not just a receiver like that is used for a bike rack or something.
Right.
Somebody's towing something with this car.
Okay.
But it is otherwise stock. Like it looks like it has clear glass.
Mm-hmm.
There are no dealer badges on it. No other stickers, nothing.
Who doesn't go for tinting nowadays?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on to the Lincoln underneath it.
Sure.
Very dark tint.
Yes.
Debadged.
Uh-huh.
It looks like they've removed the rear wiper, or is it one of the ones that is the wiper up underneath the spoiler?
I think it tucks up underneath the spoiler. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but debadged with very dark tint.
Yes.
And I think those are the stock wheels.
Yes, they are. They are stock wheels. Yep. Yeah, okay, kind of that Lincoln turbine looking wheel.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, which I don't hate, right?
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay. All right. Now the Q7.
Okay.
So the Q7 is in a handicap spot.
Right.
And I can see that it has a handicap tag.
Yes.
It has kind of a medium tint on it.
Yes.
A much more legal tint than the limo tint on the Lincoln.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Ian takes a sip of wine. All right. Okay. Or as we call it, his thinking juice.
So my first thought, for whatever reason, is, man, not sure.
See, this is the thing. It's all subtlety with this, and it's all. I mean, this one is like. This is like if I was just to deal you 3 cards randomly. I mean, they're all really close to identical cars. Mm-hmm. You know, the themes of the license plates aren't that far off from one another. You know, this is pretty homogenous, right?
Yeah.
The likelihood of you even getting one, I'd say, is super low. So I'm grading this one on a curve, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So courtside to me implies like a little bit of someone who like has panache, a little likes a little flash in their life.
Okay.
So I'm going to say that is the Lincoln, because there's been a little bit more attention to style paid there than anywhere else.
Okay.
I think Hockey Mask goes with the Q5.
Okay. All right.
Because I just associate driving kids to hockey practice with just utilitarian stuff, and they've got the trailer hitch, and so that's what I'm basing that on.
Okay.
And then I think Go Man Go is with the handicap stickered Q7, and I think it's like kind of like a little bit of a like a pun.
Okay.
Like taking it back sort of thing.
Okay.
Self-deprecating humor, something like that. Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you, Ian. You fucking got all 3, dude. You got all 3. Let me open up the answers JPEG that I made. I am really proud of you, buddy.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you. Let's see. Yeah. I think what I have to do is I got to close this.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Dave uses computers.
I know, right? It's like I've never done it before. Answers. Boom. Here we go. Oh, it opens in a separate window. Shoot. Okay. Here, let me share that window instead. Oh, no. Here. All we have to do is we just have to drag that to the Chrome window. Be right back, buddy. Okay. All right. There's the answers. We're going back here. Look at this. This is podcast production. I'm going to share that. That window. Whoops. Almost, Ian. This is great podcasting.
Whoopsie.
Where's your rap air horn right now?
License plate.
You got them all correct. Look at that, Ian. Your instincts were right, man. Nice job on the court side. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you, man. This is I would say this is license plate game hard mode, and you won. You won.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You gotta trust your gut.
Yeah.
It was a team effort.
Was it?
I got shout out to my team.
To your sponsors.
Was great all day. To my sponsors. Like, share, subscribe.
Wait, suddenly Lewis Hamilton's concerned about his YouTube subscribers?
I don't know, man.
Yeah. Man, I am color me impressed, man. You did awesome.
Thank you. Thank you for making these for me. I love them so much.
Anytime I see a vanity plate, I take a picture now, and I get mad. I get real mad when one doesn't turn out. And so I have a few more saved up that I'm waiting for other license plates to fill in. I saw a vanity plate the other day, and you may recognize this one. It's hard to see because it's out of focus, and I took it while I was driving down the road. I mean, my intern did. But this was the second time I've seen the Be Smooth Ford Fusion. I saw it again.
Yes. Be Smooth.
Yep. And then
I like that you knew it was out of focus, but zoomed in anyway.
Yep. Sure did, buddy. And then here's another one that didn't turn out that can't make it into a license plate game. You know what this Audi said?
No, what did it say?
Well, first of all, it's an A8L, and you know what you could get with that, right? It's the W12, and this license plate said DUBYA12 W12.
W12, nice.
Yeah, it's hard to get a vanity plate at night. Yeah.
I like to think that they had that on their Phaeton.
Okay.
And then had to find a car to go with the plate.
Right. Yeah. They're running out of options quick.
Yeah.
Right.
It's this or a Bentley at this point.
Right. Yeah. They're just burning through all three options. Okay. I like that. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what I've seen.
Those are good ones.
Thanks, buddy. I want to give a shout out to our buddy Nick, who just picked up a CRZ.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So go ahead.
He very sweetly tweeted it at us. And then I was sitting on the Twitter account that day, and I don't know if you saw that I responded.
I did, Ian. I did.
And I just said, needs Type R badges.
No. First of all, I don't think Nick's going to listen to you. And second of all, the CRZ is an awesome car. I love it.
Yeah.
I just earlier today when I was making the poops, I was reading an article from Road and Track about the CRZ, and they just fucking hate it. Like, it was like some guy wrote the article, and basically it was, this CRZ is not a CRX, so therefore I can't stand it. I want nothing to do with it.
Well, to be fair though, the Honda did themselves no favors.
True. One,
in the naming, and two, if you remember, the lead up to it was them essentially hyping what was going to be a replacement for the CRX.
Right.
And it just wasn't. And also, at the time, kind of like our relationship with Saabs now, right? Where at the time Saabs were crazy expensive. This was also pretty expensive.
It was really expensive. Yeah.
And now it's an intriguing thing because you can get them for nothing.
Yes. Right.
And it's just kind of like, now you can get a Saab for $5,000. That's like the best Saab.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Look, here's one for 10.5 at CarMax, right? With 61,000 miles on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's a little more interesting than it was when it was new. Because how much did they cost new?
Yeah, they were bad. Yeah. CRZ MSRP was, I think, around $26,000. Yeah, that's a lot of money for a 2-door compact car.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially at the time. Yeah.
I don't know. Like today, being mad at a CRZ because it's not a CRX, that argument is completely null and void in my opinion. Right. Back then it may have been valid, especially with, like you said, Honda kind of shooting themselves in the foot with the marketing. Right. But they're completely different things, and besides, isn't that what the Civic Si is for? If you want a 2-door, little car to kind of bring back that super light handling and, quickness,
Yeah, I'd argue that's what a Veloster is for at this point.
No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. Yeah. Yeah.
No. I think that's probably the closer to a CRX at this point that you can actually get,
Right. Yeah. No, that's a good point. Yeah. I don't know. I love the styling of the CRZ. It's cool. Its build quality is good. Yeah. I don't know.
I've still never driven one. I would love to.
Yeah.
I'm very curious about it.
Our buddy Mark has one. Yeah. In that great blue color. And it's fantastic. I've driven that. He has the manual transmission. And yeah, no, I think it's great. Yeah. So congrats, Nick. That's an awesome car. Yeah,
absolutely.
Right. And no, don't take Ian's advice and put Type R badges on it. But right.
M badges.
Yeah. M badges. There you go. Yes. A W12 badge. Yes. Right. And yeah, they do make a factory supercharger kit for them, which would be hilarious,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. There you go. Yeah. But I mean, I think that's about all I had. I mean, I sat through a Honda Accord presentation. Do we really want to talk about that, Ian?
I wanted to ask you about it because I had a work call. That's why I was trying to get back to my talkabouts tab.
Sure.
Because I was like, I know there's one other thing, the Honda Accord thing.
Okay.
I had a work call and I couldn't get out of it, and so you had to do a journalism for both of us.
I did a journalism for both of us. Yeah.
Normally, it takes both of us rubbing together to create one journalism.
Yes. I had to solo journalism, so I was doing.
You had to rub yourself furiously to make up for the lack of another idiot to rub up against.
Yes.
To do a journalism.
Yes, I managed to keep most of that off screen on the Microsoft Teams call.
You did tubing?
I did not do a tubing.
Okay.
So, these press events that we used to go to back in the day, this would be like at some kind of like brew house, and they'd ply us with sausages and, Bavarian pretzels or something like that, and then talk about the car. And there you go. Right. COVID era automotive presentations are now, Zoom or Teams or something like that. Right. And so, hop on the Teams. I think the presenter, his name's Carl Pulley. I think you can really tell when somebody like it has like adapted this kind of new model of like what they have to do for the sales and presentation and stuff like that. Did a fantastic job presenting. He had a few interesting things that I kind of picked out, but it was basically about the Accord Hybrid, and like the, just kind of the advances that it's made, right? Because they have that, what's the crazy Inception or, Envision, the Accord that's like the hybrid, but it was going to be a natural gas car at first or something.
Yeah. It was the fuel cell, hydrogen fuel cell.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And then then they turned that into a hybrid, and now this kind of stuff is trickling down into the Accord, right? And I think it looks great. The price isn't bad. They sell tons of them. But they were saying like, first of all, the Honda Accord is the best-selling car of the past 50 years, period. Right? Yeah. Honda's aiming to be carbon neutral by 2050, right? And 2/3 of their their portfolio will be electrified by 2030, right?
Okay.
9 years, right? It seemed like kind of long, like far off to say you're going to be carbon neutral by 2050.
Well,
right?
But you have to remember too, the carbon neutral thing is, especially since you have to take into account, like they make lawnmowers,
true,
jets,
right.
But they are also taking into account whenever these companies talk about being carbon neutral, they're also talking about buying carbon credits.
Yes. Yes.
So it's not that they're going to be carbon neutral is very different thing than saying zero emissions.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Buying carbon offset credits is a whole thing of itself. Essentially what you're doing is like you're burning a fossil fuel and then paying someone to plant a tree to make up for what you've done to the atmosphere.
Right. Or paying a farmer. Another model is paying. There's a whole thing now where you can calculate the carbon capture of a farm plot that doesn't plow their harvested plants under right away.
Okay.
So like those extra couple of months of living plants,
right,
even though the grain has been harvested or whatever. That is a way that farmers are now making money, but like the calculation of like how much carbon they can capture is very hard, very kind of subjective and hard to figure out.
Sure. Just all over the map, probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's other investments that you can make in the carbon market already today, and it's growing more.
Gotcha.
It's really interesting.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, but it was a presentation about the new Accord centered around like kind of the environmental impact and stuff like that. Good effort to make. And yeah, I don't know, but with the news that's been coming out about like GM going like, largely electric in the future, and like all of these kinds of companies making this bigger push to an electrified future. I'm not, I don't have a problem with it. It doesn't like upset me. I don't know like just what your gut take is on it, but I know a lot of folks out there are like, they're disappointed to hear this, right? And they like someone told my wife, like, there's nothing like putting gas in a car. Like that's what, which is just a weird thing, but that is something that's out there. It's just like, I don't know. It's a long road to fight like this kind of stuff, right? And electric cars are fantastic and they can be really, really fun. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like, the first thing that happens with any new mode of transportation is somebody figures out a way to race it.
Yeah, so, right.
Like, I am not like I have never been worried about that. We'll always have fast cars, and we'll always have people who hack stuff and modify stuff and whatever.
Right.
But also, like, the idea that we're gonna lose something by not going to the gas station,
right?
Is strange.
Yeah, it is. It makes me think back to like the early mid 90s when like the like Honda tuning scene was like really starting to take hold, right? And like all these like stodgy muscle car guys, like were like all like sticks in the mud when it came to performance vehicles, like not looking like theirs, and like because sounding exactly right, all of that stuff, so
it does. I do get a kick sometimes out of hearing people who are tuners now talk about like losing the sound
right
with electric cars, and you're like, have you heard your Honda? Because it sounds like shit.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm not going to miss a duck fart, but I will fight for that duck fart to exist.
Yeah. Also, though, nobody is going to take gasoline-powered cars off the road and crush them. Nobody's going to take enthusiast-owned gasoline cars off the road and crush them.
Right.
We're going to be taking off all of the Toyota Tercels that nobody cares about.
Exactly.
That's fine.
Right.
So I think what the thing that will happen, that will be hard, is that I think if you are still into gasoline cars and you are still into racing your gasoline car or modifying it or driving it around or whatever, that will get more expensive, probably.
Yes. Yeah.
And a little more arduous to deal with.
Yes.
But the faster that everybody else gets an electric car, the more likely it is that you're going to be able to keep your gasoline like enthusiast car, right? Because either we make it so most everything is electric, or we're going to be forced into a situation where nobody can have a car.
Right. Yeah. Nobody gets a car, period.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. I didn't think about it from that angle. Yeah. TikTok, motherfuckers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm in favor of our new electric overlords. It's going to be great. There's going to be awesome cars. There already are, you know. Yeah. Shit. I'll take a Nissan Leaf. You and I had some of the most genuine, like, hilarity laughter that we've ever had in a Nissan Leaf.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
My question about electric cars, because of the weather we're having.
Yeah.
How does warm up go? Like, you know, so having kids, one of the nuances of kid ownership and transportation is that when they're in the car seats, they can't have the big coats on.
Yes, you are correct.
So you have to put the kid in without their coat on,
right,
into the car seat, because otherwise the buckles don't work.
Right.
So how do you preheat the car if it's electric? Is there like a separate electric heating element?
Right. So because my wife and I have been talking about the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. Because she has the Lexus hybrid, and the thing that I notice about that is that it warms up fast. Like the period of time that it takes for hot air to come out of the vents, it's really quick. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes, but it warms up quick. Also, you can leave your dome light on for like a fucking month and you're fine. But we were talking about how you kind of almost need a separate like warm up mode for a hybrid or an electric vehicle to kind of get everything moving, because like her car, like if you start it, it'll just shut the engine off if it's not going anywhere. And then it just sits and idles on the battery pack, right? And then every now and then, like, you can tell it starts the engine, but it doesn't, like, that doesn't necessarily warm up the car, right? So you need like a separate like winter warm up mode for like vehicles like this. And I can tell you're Googling it.
I am. I Googled, can you warm up a Tesla?
Okay.
You can preheat your car
by
activating preconditioning or defrost in the Tesla app.
Ah, okay. Okay, so a defrost mode. Okay.
So there's a defrost mode. So I'm curious about that in the context of, like, you know, I live in a small house with a garage that might fit a Model T, because that's what they had available at the time. No modern car fits in my garage.
Right.
So, you know, it's going to be parked outside, and it's Denver. So I'm just curious, like, how well that works.
Yeah.
You know, we've only driven electric cars in a warm day when it's like
August. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's all.
No. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, these are very solvable problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know, man. But yeah. Sleepy Dave. Yeah. Ian, it's 9:34. Sleepy Dave.
I know. It's pumpkin 30, as we say in our house.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Pumpkin 30. Yeah. So, I don't know. We did a car show, Ian. You and I.
We did a car show. Thank you, Dave, for doing even more of the heavy lifting than normal this week, because I came very unprepared.
Oh no!
And we still had a delightful little chat.
Yes, Ian. It's always nice. I love making license plate games for you. I cannot believe that you crushed all three of, like, basically. Yeah, I gave you the exact same thing and the exact same plate, and you managed to line them all up. Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
If you enjoyed whatever this was, please email us, apexadjacent@gmail.com. You can text us at 720-515-1391. Or you could call us on that number, I suppose. And leave a voicemail like an old. And we're on the media social. Yeah,
if you have a vanity plate that you want to add to the license plate game, just tweet that, DM that over to me at NuckNuckGoose on Twitter, and I'll add it to the license plate game without Ian seeing it. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, we are attempting to do this thing that we've heard of called self-promotion. And I'm not sure that it's going to work. But if you can think, if we're trying to do like guest spots on other podcasts. So if you can think of either podcasters that you think would be a fun guest on our show, or you want us to show up somewhere else in your feed, please give us your suggestions.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to hear that. Yeah. Right.
I just thought of that just now. I didn't consult Dave at all.
I'm all for it. See, that's teamwork, right?
That's the opposite of teamwork. It's what I just said. Teamwork would be like, hey, what do you think about me saying this? And you being like, yeah, that's a good idea. You do it.
Well, you did it, and I endorse it. I support you.
And yes.
Yes, I yes-anded your suggestion. I did not know what your suggestion. Yes, it's this new improv technique called I
don't like that.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, Dave, I love you. I
love you too, buddy.
Else. Goodbye. See you later.